Yup, we are live. So how does Press be doing that countdown shit? Because I thought it counts down before it
I
once
don't
he
know.
does. Yeah, because Press be doing that fancy ass countdown and shit. Yeah. All right, well here we go. All right, y'all. Got a special one for y'all today. Got my man Blacktastic Media Q Reviews in the house to talk Candyman 2021. Had to have my brothers on here, man, because there's just so much to talk about this movie. A lot of controversy. This movie is very divided. Fans are divided with this movie. Okay, so as Blacktastic said, a lot of people loved it or hated it. There's really no in between. So we gotta get into this shit. So Q, we're gonna start with you, man. Introduce yourself and your channel and what you all about, bro. Go ahead.
Yep. Once again, Rashad, thanks so much for having me on, the channel. It's always, a pleasure to kick it up with your brother. Scott Blacktastic here. I think it's the first time we all been together on a live, I think, isn't it? This is wild. We've been knowing each other. We've been knowing each other for about 3 years.
Maybe once on Anthony's channel we was all together once, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
you're
okay.
Right, you're right.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah. So it's cool. So it's always a pleasure. And of course, if you guys don't know me, it's the first time seeing this dreaded face. Is I'm Q Reviews from Detroit. I do movie reviews. I do skits, short films, things like that. And if you want to have a good time, I'll be working on some skits, some more funny skits, reviewing movies. That whole YouTube 9. Go ahead to subscribe to Q Reviews with an S. It's another Q review. It's a couple other Q reviews, but I'm the one with the dreadlocks and probably the blood on his face. That's the way you want to subscribe to. The other guys, are just imitations. So with the real Q Reviews, please stand up. Please stand up. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. That's what I'm all about, man. Making YouTube videos, having fun, having great conversations with brothers like yourself. So yeah, check me out.
All right, cool. All right, Blacktastic, take it away, man.
What's up, y'all? Blacktastic's in the house, Blacktastic Media. And basically, man, I go back from DJing back in the day. That's how I paid my way through college. So I love music. And second of all, I love movies. So to me, they both go hand in hand. And growing up, man, I grew up during Spielberg era, seeing all the classics, all the greats, and inspired me to be a film director. Not so much them. My boy Spike Lee inspired me more than anybody. I wanted to be my color skin, getting my point of view out there to the whole world to see. And now, with all these devices we have, there's no excuse. Back in the day, Hollywood wouldn't let black people in the door. So now we can kick in the door from the outside and really stress what we feel and express it on camera as well as music. And YouTube has been a godsend, man. I would have never met you brothers. And I'm allowed to have my own private studio. I feel like an independent studio doing exactly what Spike Lee did. When I met him in person and talked to him, he said, look, don't take no for an answer. Put your own money together and do it yourself. So I'm here now because of the advice of Spike Lee. And I met you brothers because of YouTube.
Nice. Well, yeah, also, man, you're up and coming filmmaker. You have about four short films under your belt right now, including Sarah, that drops next month, October 28th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, October 28th.
Okay. Yeah, man. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your about your short films, your love for horror, and it's kind of brought us here together today.
Grew up in the era of Amityville horror, of course, The Exorcist, Poltergeist, The Shining. I love classic horror. Then I grew up in the era of slasher films, so I appreciate both of them. But man, I love being scared, and I love to scare people. And now I got the chance to do it. And my latest film, Sarah, man, this was big for me because I had a budget. Actually traveled out of state, went to Portland, Oregon, went to Washington State, and filmed this movie. And basically, it's a gothic, tragic love story with supernatural background. And the premise is, years ago, captains of ships did side jobs transporting slaves from Africa to the US. And this particular captain happened to fall in love with one of the slaves. And as you know, when slaves are abducted, their name is taken from them. So she had no name. So the love of his life, he named her after his ship, which was Sarah. By the time they got back to the mainland, they'd been busted. So they hung her in the public hall in front of everybody for him to see. Then they took him, tied his hands behind his back, and made him walk his own plank on his ship. So therefore, his ghost is in purgatory, and his ship sits on the mainland in Portland. So after all these years, if anybody ventures onto that ship, his ghost awakens. And if you're a female, hey, watch your back.
Man, that's dope. And is that based on true events or a little bit? Or did you come up with all that? Because that's pretty amazing.
I came up with that story, man. You know, even though I'm a black director, there's no black people in this film, but you can feel the black presence of the story. And that's how I wanted to do this whole thing. But Q Reviews, I'll be hitting you up pretty soon to give you an advanced copy to check it out. So.
Oh, I'm checking it out for sure, man. The premise sounds amazing. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it was dope. I checked that out once again. You know, I made a vow to myself. I said, you know what? I know Blacktastic likes to scare me, jump scare. You know, I said, I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going to do it. And damn it, you got me. Damn, this motherfucker got me, man.
I love it, man. I love it.
I'm sucker for that.
Yeah, congratulations on that, man.
Yeah,
thanks,
definitely. Man. Congrats. Yeah, and then man, you got a movie coming up too, man. Friday the 13th.
That's right.
Was it Red Blood?
Roseblood.
Roseblood. Yes. Friday the 13th. Roseblood. Yeah, you play the Duke.
Yeah, I played the Duke. One of the only people to survive a Friday the 13th film, especially with my skin. And spoiler alert, I survived this one as well. Yeah, Jason doesn't get me because it's a continuation. Well, it's a prequel to part 8, and the Duke first arrived in part 8. So I'm playing a younger, even hot-headed version of the Duke. You know, right. Yeah. So that was exciting. It got to be. It was fun as hell. Like Black Taxi said, I traveled to Seattle to shoot the film. We raised a bunch of money on Indiegogo, so it's a fan film. But we have some actors from the original movie, like the original guy who played a girl who played Tina. What's her name? Laura Parklina. She was one with the psychic power. She's in the film as well. And the dude from Weekend at Bernie's, Terry Kaiser, you know, he's in it playing the doctor role, the asshole doctor again too, and Nick's in it, her boyfriend, and things like that. But it was just a blast to fly out to Seattle, you know, go to the estate and shoot a Friday the 13th film. You know, with my good friend director Peter Anthony, and we're big, huge Friday the 13th fans. You know, like huge. We met playing that Friday 13th game, and then you know, like as we started talking, we were became really good friends because we had such love for the horror genre. And who knew, like 3 years later, I'll be playing the Duke in the movie. You know what I'm saying, next to real actors from the Friday the 13th franchise. My dream. I would never thought in a million years that I will be in a Friday 13th movie. So it was literally a dream come true. And we worked our ass off 14, 16-hour days. Hardly ever slept, man. You know, like we literally sleep 3 hours back on the set. You know, it was a lot of work, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah. And that comes out in November, I think. I'm not sure the exact date, but yeah, it'll be in November. So yeah, I'm highly excited. It'll be on YouTube for you guys to see it. And of course, you can buy your own Blu-ray copies. It's an Indiegogo. You can buy all type of sign stuff. You want the Duke to sign something. So yeah. Check it out. Definitely. Check us out in November, man. It was dope to wear a cowboy hat for like a week straight and cowboy boots with a black and mild. So yeah. It was dope. It was dope.
Oh man, that's what's up, Gail. Congrats to both of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to seeing that Friday the 13th. And I already saw Sarah, you know, it was dope. So yeah, this is what brought us together, man. Our love of horror. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this live stream. Ooh. We're talking Candyman. I said it twice. I don't give a damn if I say it. Look, I'm gonna say it a lot more times. He ain't doing shit to me. All right. So Candyman just dropped this week, and I got to see an early screener with a crowd full of people, and everybody loved it. I loved it. My daughter was with me. She was scared. Driving home, we were talking about it, and every time I said his name, she freaked out. She's like, "Daddy, stop saying that. He's gonna get us." So my daughter been on edge for the past few days now after watching this movie. So I felt it was effective. It did its job. I gave it an A in my review, and of course, you know, Blacktastic, you feel differently about it. And Q, did you drop your review yet? No, right?
No, this is first time since I got back
first time
from out of town.
Okay.
Yeah, sending on my camera. So yeah, this is my first time talk about it with anyone. And I think I was talking to you in the chat how I felt a little bit about it. So yeah, this is my first time live actually talking about the film.
Okay. So real quick, so tell us what'd you think about the movie?
For me, for me, you know what? I have mixed feelings about it. I thought the film was straight. I'm between like out of 5. I'm between like a 3 and maybe a 3.5. The more I think about it, do you want me to get into the stuff I like and disliked about the film, or right quick, or you know?
Oh well, no, we'll just your quick thoughts, and then we're gonna come back around. Then we're gonna give our positives and negatives. So just
okay.
your overall thought about it.
My overall thought about it, I thought the director did some very creative things. Overall, like I said, I got about a 3 or a 3.5. I can't quite haven't made up a mind. There's some stuff I really loved about the film, and some stuff horror wise that I really disagree with, and I wish they could have done better in some aspects of in the horror realm. To me, that's my general consensus of it. I really love one part of it, one whole part, which is, I'm just gonna say it, Jordan Peele's screenplay. I like that. You know what I'm saying? But like some of the horror stuff didn't land for me. I'm gonna get more into that in a little bit, but I'm all right with it right now. And I don't hate the film, but I'm like, you should have did some other things, which I'm gonna get into.
Okay, so you wasn't 100% in love with it, but at the same time, it was so you'd be like, it was alright. It was somebody said, well, Q, what'd you think? It was alright.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It had some strong parts and some weak parts. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, read a couple of comments here. Okay, Darnell from Rejected Heroes Media, he couldn't be here. Sorry I couldn't make it to join you. I had an emergency. Okay, it's all good, bro. Next time. All right, shout out to my brother TLA. Shout out to Rashad G and Q. This is from Somatic 18. All right, my first super chat dollars. Rejected Heroes Media gave $5. Oh, shit.
Congratulations, man!
Yeah, damn. Support the channel, Big Bro. Put this towards Marvel's Shang-Chi this weekend. No doubt, man. I appreciate you, bro. Wish you could have been here. Thank you. All right, so Blacktastic. Oh, shit. Your overall thoughts on Candyman 2021.
But check it out, man. I'm in line with my man Q Reviews. I didn't hate the film.
Okay.
My review was literally, I walked out the theater. I had my homegirl with me. We go back in the day, and she's a big time horror fan. She's a Black female. And so our perspective was spot on after we came out the theater. I was disappointed, but I didn't hate the film. And I recognized game. Homegirl directed her ass off. That film was beautifully directed. The cinematography is amazing. The same thing with Q. The problems I have is the horror part of it, because the original scared me to death, and it stuck with me for almost 30 years, how bad that movie scared me. So I waited all this time to be scared again, and I just wasn't. But I like a lot of stuff in the story. It was, the script has some positive and it has some negatives, but to me, the director is the star of this film.
Okay. No, that's a fair assessment. You know what's funny? I have the opposite feeling, because the first movie, all right, the first one came out in 92, right? So I was going on 13. The first time I watched the first movie, I didn't like it, because I was into the slasher stuff. I was into a kill every 5 minutes. And that first movie kind of deviated from the slasher formula, you know what I mean? Which is not a bad thing, but at the time I didn't appreciate it. But the more I watched it, the more I liked it. So now that original is one of my favorite horror movies, like, of all time. Like, I love it. But back then, this dropped around the same time as Dr. Giggles, and I was more invested in Dr. Giggles. You know what I mean? So yeah, I wasn't a fan of the first one. And the only part that scared me in that original movie, spoiler, was when the white chick came at the end. You know, when she had the hair all burnt off and shit. She came with the hook. That's the only time I got scared. Oh, and when he first appeared in the parking lot, you know, with that deep ass voice, you know, Helen. I said, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, it's very effective. Yeah.
Very effective. Yeah. So I was the opposite, because the first time I saw the first one, it didn't scare me. But this one here had some shit that kind of fucked with me. Just the fact that, you know, he was hiding in the reflections in the mirrors and stuff. So if you blink, you would miss it. Yeah. So sometimes, you'd be looking, my daughter would be like, do you see him standing right there? Oh shit, that is him standing right there. Fucked me up a little bit. So I thought that technique was effective by using the reflections and everything. So, that goes into my positives. I like the execution on how she gave us Candyman. I guess what's the guy's name? The new Candyman.
Mateen.
No, the original, the guy that was coming out the walls, the one that kept appearing.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis Jr.
The Candyman.
I keep want to call him Simon, but it wasn't Simon. It was Jesus.
That's what he looked like. That's what he reminded me of. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, he was creepy, man.
Candyman makes the world taste so good.
Hey, in some ways, he was creepier than Tony Todd's Candyman, because when you saw him, his face was all, deformed and everything, and he was all like, Whereas
that's the nigga at the store, son. Huh? The other Candyman, to me, the 70s Candyman, like the nigga at the store, you know what I'm saying? Like asking, with the wide eyes rolls, asking for change and shit.
Yeah, I mean, he already had the pimp coat and shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I know I keep forgetting his name, but that Candyman, I just thought it was effective how they utilized it. And then the whole thing with the Anthony character, his descent into madness, kind of put me in the mind of, like, if you ever seen Psycho 2, how Norman starts out normal, then as the movie goes on, he gets crazier. I just love that character arc of being this artist to now, I become the new Candyman, So like Hugh said, I thought the script worked, even though there was some holes in the script. I thought the script worked. The directing was on point. And and the cinematography, the way it was shot, the shots that she used, the angles, like the whole thing when she was like panning, it was upside down. I thought that shit was crazy. So there was a lot that I loved about this movie. Now I'm not saying it's perfect by a long shot, but if you have a checklist of what a horror movie's supposed to do, I think it checked off most of that, man. And that's why I gave it a passing grade. So
you gave it a masterpiece. You got masterpiece on
I said masterpiece. Well, that might be, it says sometimes I'm
it's all right.
I speak.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, huh? Yeah.
I saw it. I saw it again today. And I have to be honest. I didn't like it as much the second time because it was only like 5 of us in the theater. So it's a difference when you see it in a room full of people, as opposed to when you see it with just a few. It just didn't have the same impact this time around. So I didn't like it as much the second time, but I still really dug it though. So I'll stick with that then. Okay, masterpiece. Fuck it. All right. So Q, your positives, bro.
Oh yeah, my positives. I'm gonna have to agree. My favorite positive of the whole thing is the screenplay. How they tie the first Candyman in with this newer Candyman. With the, I guess we're talking spoilers here, right? It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the Vanessa Williams character. For the baby that was saved from the fire in the first movie to be this Candyman here, played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen, I thought was brilliant. I just thought that was brilliant. I just thought that worked in a way, and he didn't really know who he was till he found out who he was, and his lineage was the Candyman, and it kind of chose him. That bee chose to sting him on his hand, that really corrupted his whole body and literally turned him into Candyman. Because once he found out about, the lore of Candyman, he was talking about it before we even was introduced to his character. He was already into it. He was talking about Helen, and I love how they paid respect to that original Candyman. I thought that really worked for the film. Another big positive for me is some of the actors in there. One of the main actor, I always forget his name. I got it here. Coleman. What's his name? Yeah, Coleman Domingo.
Coleman, yeah.
That dude is a fire actor, dog. If you haven't seen Zola yet, he's fire in that too. Yeah. I thought he stole the show. I thought he was one of the characters who stole the show. And Vanessa Williams, you remember originally from New Jack City, Walker-Bye, baby. Yeah. She made her appearance. It didn't age a day, by the way. God, she looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that's still that fine. And she did an excellent job, because when he said Candyman, and of course we see it in the trailer, it's like, yeah, don't say that. And you really believe her in her face and everything and every being in her body. Like this is something not to be played with. It's very dangerous. And I believed in it. And I like the one chick, Tiana Paris, I think her name is, Monica Rambeau.
That's big.
That's big. She always does a great job. I think Yahya Abdul-Mateen was straight here. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he stole the show, but he was more of a observation piece for us to see what's going down the line, what's happened to it. And I thought he handled the subject matter well. So the screenplay first, those fire actors that I just mentioned, and the direction from this director. Yeah, she did good. She did really good, like with the puppets and everything and telling the story. I never got tired of that. And I think she did some brilliant stuff with mirrors, like with mirrors, not knowing what's going on there. Didn't really creep me out too much, but I thought it was very, very clever. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was very clever how you know what I'm saying, how she was doing it, even how the Universal logo at the beginning was backwards and everything was backwards. I thought that was really creative and unique. It's like, oh yeah, we're going into the Candyman world. So yeah, those three things are my super positives of the film right there. Yep. Screenplay, the actor, and the director. And I don't know in any particular order though, but I thought that was fire. That's why, you know what I'm saying, I didn't hate the movie. I know it's not trash at all. You know what I'm saying? It was just some stuff I just was like, I don't know about this, you know. I guess we get into it.
Okay. All right. Black Tastic, go ahead. What you got?
My favorite part of the movie, man. I come from the community for 7 years. I used to host open mic at an art gallery, and so the way that people act and carry themselves was very accurate from a black standpoint. There are boozy black people out there that are into art and wine and cheese and crackers, and they're just like that. A lot of starving artists, very talented, but they don't have to pay their bills. They gotta cling on to somebody to help make it, to the next level. So that part was very, very, very accurate. I like that. The color scheme was gorgeous. The cinematography was beautiful. Like my man Q said, the reverse angles in the very beginning of the movie caught my attention. I'm like, oh, Universal logo is backwards. The little small attention to detail. And I've never seen skyscrapers filmed like that in my life.
That was dope.
Yeah.
That was
dope.
Mind blowing. And then when she would pan the camera when he's walking down the ghetto, the street, the buildings are like giants compared to this man as he's walking. So you felt the scope of the neighborhood. And then the cast was fire. I liked everybody in the movie that was cast. I probably didn't care for their character as much as the actor, but beautiful to look at it on screen. Everybody was beautiful. The lighting was perfect for our hue of our skin. They got it right, and it looked good. They talk intelligent. These was not ignorant, dumb black folks. I appreciate that. And slightly how they made the white people the enemy, and it made you want to see them die. That was kind of cool. You don't see that too often in movies.
Right.
It catered to our black ego, our black essence, and that part was dope. Like I said, my issues are more with the horror part of it, but man. And then I appreciate the gentrification aspect. I appreciate the police violence. I thought it was kind of pushing.
A little heavy-handed.
Heavy-handed.
A little heavy-handed, yeah.
That's one of my negatives.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that it was brought up, but it could have been done a little bit differently. Like for everything she did perfect. I just feel there's another movie on the editing floor that we haven't seen. And I think something happened, but I'll say that till later on.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so we're about to get into the negatives now. So I agree. Some of the stuff was a little heavy-handed, but still, in the history of horror, black people have been done dirty. You know what I'm saying? Even though we helped the genre, we helped push the genre forward. But the cliche is a brother always dies in the beginning of the movie. And if you do have a brother that makes it to the end, that almost they died. Kincaid was the exception, and I cheer for Kincaid. He was my man, and he was the first motherfucker to go in part 4. You know what I mean? Toward Elm Street,
yeah, Kincaid.
So, So, at your burnt face pussy.
That's my name.
Yeah, so it was good to see reverse this time. How because there was not one black body in this movie. No, I mean, well, except for there was a flashback scene with the Coleman character where his sister died. But other than that, there were everybody died. He was white.
I didn't peep that. Yeah, except those kids though. Those kids.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
in the
flashback scene. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Scene, yeah. But other than that, only white people got killed. Even in the scene where in the stall in the bathroom with the girls, it was 5 white girls, 1 black girl. The black girl only one walked out alive. So.
Didn't Domingo get killed though?
Well,
What's
yeah,
his name?
yeah.
But he was evil though.
He was evil. Yeah, he don't count. Yeah, he was part of. He was Candyman's sidekick almost, man. So he doesn't count. So yeah, as far as my negatives go, there were times where I wasn't like clear on the narrative, what was going on. Like, so the whole thing with there's multiple Candymans. Okay, so this is a new reimagining of this universe, right? So there's multiple Candymen, and at the end of the movie, spoiler, okay, Tony Todd, I guess, takes over Anthony's body, because you see it's Anthony, but then when you see the face, it's Tony Todd and saying, you know, tell everyone. So I'm like, did he take over his body, or so how does this work? So from this point on, if somebody says Candyman 5 times, is a different Candyman going to appear? Like, how does this work? You know, and why did that happen in the first movie? Where in the first movie, technically, she should have summoned the one from this one, because this one originated from 1977. You know, and Cabrini Green. So technically, he should have been the one that Helen summoned.
Right.
So I was just unclear about how this works as far as the different Candyman goes. So that was kind of a negative for me. You know, how they were just kind of, there were holes in the story that left me scratching my head like, I don't quite get that. You know, and the heavy-handedness of, you know, the police brutality, which, like you said, at least they put it in there. But I felt it was a little too, you know, the frosting was a little too thick. They had to take some of that frosting off of there, man. It was too damn sweet, you know. And other than sometimes the pacing was a little slow, you know, especially when I saw it today with only like 4 or 5 people in the theater. The pacing was kind of slow at times where you're like, can you pick up a little bit more? You know, but other than that, yeah, those are my only gripes of the movie, you know, just stuff like that. So we're gonna go reverse this time. So Blacktastic, I'm gonna start with you. Your negatives on the movie.
First of all, the pacing.
Yeah.
The first 2 acts was a slow burn, which I appreciate. I don't mind. And then you got to the 3rd act, and it didn't even give it a chance. It went from 0 to 100. That 3rd act just blew past us. I'm like, man, this ain't making any sense. And I do believe she shot a different movie, but the studio came in and probably tampered with it. And because some of the scenes in the trailer are not in the movie. So there could have been some things like this. So that 3rd act, to me, killed it. It fell apart. And see, the first Candyman scared me because when I was in school, when I was a kid, it was a game called Bloody Mary.
Yeah, I remember Bloody Mary.
I remember Bloody Mary, yeah.
And we had just moved off the hood. We moved from Compton to Long Beach. So I was the first and only Black kid in Long Beach in this neighborhood. So I got introduced to Bloody Mary by my white neighbors. And they did this shit in my house, in my bathroom. Bloody Mary. And opened my eyes and turned on the lights. It looked like Carrie. And so that jarred me. So Candyman scared me on the premise of chanting somebody's name and they come and kill you. That's why the first one was so scary for me. And he was a villain. In this movie, they made him an anti-hero, and I didn't like it.
Yeah. At the end,
I didn't like that. That's not Candyman in my book. Whether he was killed by police, KKK, or slave owners, that man came with vengeance. And whoever called his name, whether white, Black, Mexican, Asian, he came and got your ass on promise. And that whole terror was left out of this movie, man. I was not afraid of Candyman. The first 10 minutes was cool because I thought he killed that little boy. They come to find out he didn't kill that boy in the beginning. I'm like, oh man, you know. And in the original, Tony Todd talked through the whole movie with that voice.
Yeah,
the voice was scary. The score was scary.
The score was scary.
Yeah, his presence was scary. This, I never felt intimidated by the Candyman. Only the story made you think like, oh, that's scary. But when he appeared, you know, I just, man, they dropped the ball heavy on that, in my opinion.
I mean, even with his appearance, because like appearance-wise, he was creepier looking than Tony Todd. Because Tony Todd was a cool-looking motherfucker, even though he was the villain. Yeah. But he had the pimp coat and shit. He was smooth. Had the, you know, every time he talked to Helen, she was all like, I want to have your mixed babies, you know.
I appreciate that.
But this guy was like,
he wasn't bad. Now the only thing this movie did better than the original, they actually had the motherfucker handing out candy. It made sense.
Yeah.
In the original, they chopped off his arm, put a hook in there. To me, still don't make sense. Then they poured honey on him, and they was chanting Candyman. I'm like, honey candy. He should have been Honey Man or
Yeah.
Honeycomb Man. No, it never made sense.
Ring. Yeah, yeah.
But this one here gave a little bit of clarity. I give this movie credit for that. But the original was scary. This one was not.
Okay, gotcha. You know, and I agree. Yeah, the score of the first movie, like you can't touch it because they had the whole church organ thing. And when you hear it, it's just like gets under your skin. You know.
And you have the fear of a cute white woman going into the ghetto. That's scary enough. Then you got a black, spirit demon coming out, chopping your ass up, and then framing you for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite words in the first Candyman, when they got them all lined up, and then it's like, all right, you say your line. I hear you looking for Candyman, bitch. I hear you looking for Candyman, bitch.
Yeah. All right, step back, line 5. He looking for Candyman, bitch. Like all of them said it differently.
I fucking love that.
Oh shit, no doubt, man. All right, well, Q, I'm gonna give the floor to you, man. What was some of your negatives on the movie?
Like I got a big problem with the horror. I agree with Black Tacit. I think the first one is scarier too, because when Candyman shows up in that garage and all those bees, those organic real bees come out, and you hear his voice, and he's way in the back and he's kind of walking towards you, you know what I'm saying, with his arms behind his back or whatever. I just think Tony Todd presence is a lot more scarier than the cracked out Candyman from the 70s. Like it seemed like he was like shaking a little bit, the one that was coming out of the wall throwing the candy. He was kind of creepy though, but it was kind of like this nigga looked like my uncle or something. So
that creepy uncle.
Yeah, that creepy uncle with the candy, Candyman. He wasn't scary. Not like with that long Victorian coat that had the motherfucking fur all the way across and shit. And you know what I'm saying? It was weird. And then like Tony Todd, he put the real bees in his mouth. So he had a mouthful of real organic bees, like stinging him. Stinging him. I think he got $1,000 for every bee stung he got. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he dedicated towards them. And then I say, like we say in slashers, like don't get a lot of kills. We're looking for a kill every 4 minutes. But the original Elm Street only really had 3 kills in it. You know what I'm saying? The original Nightmare on Elm Street. But you got Tina. Yeah, you got Rod in the jail cell, and Johnny Depp's character. Yeah, Glenn.
And the mama too. That's 4.
Yeah, sucked through the window. Yeah, 4. Really. You know what I'm saying? But so that's why the real Candyman, like when it came out, we were in a dawn of slashers, and they decided to do something different there. And and I really appreciate it. And the horror stuff too. It was horrific. I think the one guy got mutilated in its apartment. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember that scene was fucking just brutal and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even the stuff when Candyman was holding Helen, he was putting the hook in the back of her neck and head. I was like, it goes in like that. That shit was horrifying. I was missing a lot of the horror aspect. I mean, I wanted it to be more horrific than it was. Now, the art gallery scene was my favorite kill in the whole shit. The whole shit. You know what I'm saying? When it did like this and the blood splattered up and it kind of killed that lady, but then that dude immediately pissed me off with his bad acting. Is this real? Well, this is real. Gotta move faster. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, son? It's Candyman in this bitch. Nigga. Like, what are you talking about, nigga? This shit like fucking like you throw me out of it. And then the rest of one of my biggest negatives about the horror, stop cutting away from the horror. You're cutting away this goddamn Candyman. We pay our money, and then we see, oh, there's Candyman. Then we're gonna cut away and just show some blood coming down and shit. Like, what the fuck? Let's see that hook do something or imagine it.
Well, can I just come in one? I'm gonna let you finish. I'm like Kanye. I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta say one thing.
Oh no,
they did the same thing in the first movie. In the first movie, the only person you've seen him kill was that psychiatrist in the office when him and Helen was sitting across from each other, and he started from his ass and went all the way up into his fucking neck.
Yeah,
that's horror. Him. But other than that, when he killed his friend Bernadette, that was off camera, so you heard him. Even though it did sound disturbing, because when he stuck you, even though you ain't here, I mean, you didn't see it, but you heard him like,
yeah. That's what I mean. That's more effective. Yeah, that's cool. I don't need to see it either. I mean, I don't need to 100% see it, but I do need to feel. I do need to feel it. I just don't need to be like even the girls in the bathroom. It was cut. You kind of hear them screaming a little bit, but you don't hear that hook in contact with the meat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got a rated R film and shit. I mean, you can push it a little bit. All right, let's take the Invisible Man. Even I hated that fucking scene when he hooked her up in the hall. that CG legs was flopping around like rubber and it kind of did like this. You could have did that better. If you look at the Invisible Man that came out a couple years ago, right? Just have two niggas in the green screen suit hold her up like this and have her fight, you know what I'm saying? For the hook, put her on the mirror and do like that. I appreciate what they were trying to do, but you could still did the same thing and have it more close than this stupid CG ragdoll that's pulled across. It just didn't look right. It was non-effective, and that took me out in the movie. Even Tony Todd, it was one part when he morphed. And one part like, oh, there's the old Tony Todd. It looks good. Then he turned to the young Tony Todd, like, that shit looks strange. It looks like
they de-aged him.
Yeah, they de-aged him. They're like, that shit like the Princess Leia back on what's that movie, Rogue Squadron or whatever the fuck that was. Like that. That shit looks weird. And all the CGBs and shit, like, hey, and it was floating. Cool concept, cool idea, but I fucks with the regular bees in Tony Todd's mouth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I fuck with that more and shit. So I was like, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it took me a little bit out of a horror. Now, if you want to watch a good executed horror, super slow burn, right now HBO Max on HBO Max is a movie called The Empty Man. And that shit's scary for real. Like scary like the old Elm Street, you know what I'm saying? It's almost based on the same concept, you know what I'm saying? Not saying this movie wasn't completely not scary, because I think the scariest parts were done with the mirror stuff, you know what I'm saying? When you're not seeing them, or he's coming out of that hole in the wall, you know what I'm saying? I think that's effective, but I don't think she knows how to really scare an audience yet. Screenplay was fire. Execution. That's what I'm saying. The execution on the horror part didn't 100% work for me. I say about 80-20. About 80% didn't work for me. Maybe 20% of it did. And that's my biggest negatives of the whole film. And it dragged a little bit at times. I agree. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, let's get to it, because this has nothing to do with the story. Fuck your cheese, fuck your wine. Okay, cool. Let's get back to the Candyman, baby. Let's get back to Candyman. I love the stuff in the 70s, so I did like the crackhead Candyman, you know what I'm saying, what they did in this story. And like you said, it was a little bit right on the nose with they even said it right there. This is gentrification, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you just came out and said it. Like, we can see it, we're not stupid, I was waiting for my man, what's his name? Ivory Waynes to come out and be like, message. You know what I'm saying? Kid Ali Ray, like, message. Like I get it. Like we can see it. You know what I'm saying? They were a little lightheaded with it. I mean, it's not bad. And I'm glad they put it in the movie. Like I said, it was just like a little like we see. And I'm glad they did put it in the movie, but it was just like right on the nose. And that's really all my negatives of the film. Other than that, is, you know what I'm saying? I dug a lot of it. Yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, even with Tony Todd showing up, I mean, I see what you're saying, because it did kind of look weird a little bit, because we know he's older now. But come on, man, the theater lost their shit. I was one of them when I first saw Tony Todd show, because I didn't think he was going to be in the movie. I applauded. I was like, oh shit. I didn't really look too deep into it. I just said, oh shit, that's Tony Todd. I lost my shit. But I'm pretty sure if I really pay attention, like that looks fake as fuck. But I was just happy. I was happy to see him.
Oh yeah, I get you 100%. I get you 100%. It was just me like looking at that face. Like I was like, hey man, I wasn't mad. Like, oh, I'm just like, hey, just. I felt the same way looking at Doc Ock and Spider-Man. I'm like, hey man, I don't know. Like, but I love Luke Skywalker and Mandalorian. Like, that looks like Luke Skywalker. That's Luke Skywalker. I don't know. They did a great job.
Until he opened his mouth,
then it was weird. It was weird.
All right, I'm gonna read a couple of comments here. Okay, I'm gonna start with this is Rejected Heroes Media. Agree with Blacktastic Media. There's definitely another movie or scenes that is missing. I feel that these missing scenes will be on the Blu-ray. Okay. Z reviews. I'm sorry. Did you see that, Mike? From the formerly known as the Z Review. Yo, fellas, great to see you all together. Me and my partners saw this just tonight. We thought there were elements that was better in the new one, but also vice versa about the old one. Okay. All right. Rejected Heroes Media. To explain the ending a bit better, the end game goal of William Burt character was to, quote unquote, in order to protect the neighborhood from being gentrified, was to create a new Candyman legend with Anthony. Okay. Cool.
I got that.
All right. Cinematic facts. Okay. I feel like there's a director's cut. I would love to see it. Bloody Mary. I did that as a teenager. You're brave, because I did not fuck with Bloody Mary, and nor will I. Okay, I think scary is a subjective term to different people. That's why horror films shouldn't be judged strictly by how scary it is. All right. Original Nightmare on Elm Street today is not really scary. Blasphemous. I don't even want to finish reading that. I still love you, Donnell, but nah. That's my favorite. The first Elm Street is my favorite horror movie of all time. Put some respect on it. Today not really scary. If you're watching it today, but still an amazing horror film, man, we have to fight on that one, bro. All right, Z. Okay, the scene with the kills in the art gallery was amazing. Damn, Q was ripping this movie up.
No, I didn't even rip it up.
All right, gotta also say that nice. No, you made some good points though, man. I can't argue with what you're saying. Gotta also say that de-aging Tony Todd was awful. I wish she was in the movie more. The Empty Man based on a graphic novel. I gotta check that out. Very good, decent story.
There's some scary ass shit in there for real.
Yeah. I mean, you had to put Tony Todd in there. Well, even
I'm glad they did.
Well, Helen, what was her name? Virginia Madsen.
Mm-hmm.
She came back to do the voice for the. Remember when he was listening to the tape recorder in the library?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. That was her. That was actually her. She came back to reprise her role as Helen. You know. So I mean, one thing I think we can all agree on is this shit was better than Farewell to the Flesh, the second Candyman movie.
I remember it. It wasn't 3.
Yeah, there was. I never saw the third one.
I don't even know what the other one is called. Yeah,
the third one's called something of the Dead or
Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead
is Dawn of the something shit like that. Yeah. I was working at Blockbuster when it came out, but I never bothered to rent it. To me, it was 2. Technically, there's 3 of them, but I only saw the first 2.
Yeah,
and Farewell to the Flesh was definitely.
I don't even remember that one.
It got away from the first movie like altogether. Like everything that happened with Helen and all that, they just went a totally different direction, almost like an anthology series.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even his coat was different. Like the pimp coat was gone. He had a trench coat. He had a 1990 Bill Cosby haircut. You know, like on season 6 of the Cosby Show. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, what do they do to Candyman? You know what I mean? Yeah. But okay, so all right, so we gave our positives, we gave our negatives. Now going forward, okay, they're definitely setting up for a sequel or multiple sequels. It's almost like they're creating a Candyman verse. Where is it possible we can almost get an anthology series with what happened to the other Candymen? You know what I mean? So I feel like this was more of a setup, like an origin story to what's to come. So let's it's a reimagining of the original movie, paying homage to the original, but now we're gonna go in a different direction. And like, so what do you guys? Okay, so Q, I'm gonna start with you. Where do you think they're going with this universe, with this franchise, with what they did with this movie?
That's a good question. By the way, shout out to the director, first woman director to bringing this much money in the box office this weekend with like 23.5 million or something. Yeah, so she killed the box office this weekend. Like nobody was even coming close to her. You know what I'm saying? Everybody messed with Candyman this weekend. So congratulations to her, because she is a good director, and I see why Jordan Peele picked her. So like on my negatives, it doesn't take away from the great work they did here. You know what I'm saying? I just had a little problem with of horror things, you know what I'm saying, being such a big fan of horror. I think somebody said horror's different for everybody, sure, but you know, like to me, I think they could, you know, I just think they could have utilized the tools differently. Now, moving forward, what could we see with Candyman? You know what I'm saying? Because it's doing so good, we're probably going to warrant a sequel. So I don't know. I hope they don't go with like the Candyman 2, just a completely, time and place or whatever, and then they summon Candyman like the Hellraiser Pinhead Sinew Bites. I hope they don't do that. I hope they kind of keep it connected like this movie was with the first one. And I don't know where you go from here. Do you keep it in Chicago or do you take it to the suburbs? I don't know. You know, be weird. I couldn't come up with a script right off the top of my head, but I think Candyman still has some life in him. I think we're going to see another sequel within the next 2 or 3 years, because they're not that expensive to make, and you know what I'm saying, as long as you got people like Jordan Peele and these directors behind it, I think you can come up with another hit movie. I think it's a franchise. I think we'll see Candyman more. Yeah,
like I said, because there's a Candyman for every wrongful Black death. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So they could take it to, like, you know, South Central. They could take it to, you know, Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like the worst cities, and show, you know, what happened to these other Candymen possibly, you know. But going back to what you said, Blacktastic, yeah, that's one thing that bothered me also was that Candyman's supposed to be, he's a slasher, he's a villain, and here he's almost like the anti-hero where he became like, you know, like, yes, black people, if you're in trouble, if you're about to wrongfully get killed by the police, all you have to do is call one name in the mirror 5 times, and he'll come and save your black
Candyman.
Candyman. You know what I'm saying? Here to kill all you racist bitches. You know? Yeah. I definitely agree. You know what? I hate to say, y'all, as we have this conversation, I'm slightly changing my stance on this movie somewhat because because you guys are making some great points, you know, and you're pointing out things to me that I didn't catch at first. Now that I think about it, y'all are definitely right.
It's all right. Say it with your chest.
I digress. So Blacktastic, where do you feel the franchise is going from here, man? I ain't got shit else to say on that.
Well, first off, I thought it was a masterpiece of a disaster. No, the thing, like I said earlier,
you ain't shit.
Candyman, one of the most scariest movies in my childhood, or my late teens. And part 2, they went with the love story. Part 3 was terrible. So it's getting less and less scarier. And I thought it was going to bring the horror back. It was creepy. I liked how they changed the story a little bit when they tell their version of Candyman. But my whole thing is, if every wrong death by a white person to a black person, that person come back to be an anti-hero, man, I'm jumping off ship. That ain't Candyman to me.
Right.
That's because even Jason took 2 to 3 movies to become a person that we like. We were scared of Jason the first couple of movies. Freddy, we were scared. Freddy's a different type of character, and Chucky, you know, they became anti-heroes, but they were still villains, and we were just rooting for the villain.
Right.
And Freddy Krueger is like the worst of the, this origin story is like the worst.
He's
an asshole.
Yeah.
And the whole thing at the end, the CGIBs at the end, you know, it was all black people in my theater. None of them was cheering. They were like, what?
Wow.
They missed the point. I get what they were trying to do, but you know, it wasn't effective for me. A black man coming from the dead killing cops. No, that didn't work for me. And you know me, I can't stand cops. I'm from LA. I can't stand them.
Yeah.
But story-wise, it didn't work.
It was still a little too much. Well, even the Anthony character, I mean, because like I said, I was confused that Tony Todd, I guess he took over. So the original Candyman took over his body, however that works. So
I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah. So now I'm thinking from this point on, is he going to be coming after the Tiana Paris character, you know? Or, I mean, is he going to like, kind of like how Helen in the first movie, how he fell in love with Helen, he wanted to kill her so they can go into the afterlife together and live happily ever after as, you know, as ghouls, you know? So is that the mission for the second movie to get her to join them, you know?
Well, technically, she summoned him, right?
Yeah.
So she should have been killed too. Now, the cops said it the 5th time, but technically, she should have got mollywopped. She should have got fucked up. So,
according to the rules, the
rules. You got to go.
But then again, you know, there always has to be one person to tell the tale to keep it going. So, being that she's the only survivor, I guess he couldn't kill her, you know.
That makes sense.
Because that was his last words, tell everyone. Because if nobody knows, his legend can't live on, so she had to live. You know what I mean? Got a question here from Darnell here. Point. He says, question for all three, y'all. What would you like to see in Candyman sequel to this movie to improve this 2021 version? Okay, well, we kind of answered that. Yeah, we kind of answered that. He was saying, what could we change as far as like going forward to make it better as an improvement to this one? I think we all kind of answered that, right?
Yeah, in the original, the city was a character. In this one, the city would never seem scary. You had art galleries. You had Homegirl was going to the hood with thugs, and it was creepy. Had paintings all on the wall, and that was the atmosphere was there. This one had no atmosphere whatsoever.
Yeah,
I agree. Even though the best killing was in the art gallery, it was too stylistic. You had red lights, green lights, blue lights. It was too stylistic for me.
Well, what about okay? So, what did you feel about Anthony's descent into madness? Did you feel like that was effective? How how he transitioned from being this, I like that aspect of the movie.
No, I do agree with that. I like that. The part in the elevator was genius. I love how she directed that. He was cool because remember, Helen went crazy in the first one, so it was kind of in line with what was going on. But I took my homegirl with me, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, TJ, good and goddamn well, black people don't do shit like that. For one thing, she goes, black people do not summon Candyman.
Yeah.
And if my hand is fucked up, I'm going to the hospital.
Feeling silly for this shit.
If my girlfriend walk in and I'm closing the door slow, man, a black woman would have kicked the door. Motherfucker, what's wrong with your hand? And why you closing the door? And
you're not paying that shit.
And you're not paying rent, motherfucker. So wait a minute. I pay the bills here. You starving? I'm still starving hard. Wash your hands again with some peroxide and put some rubber tussin on that motherfucker.
There's some tussin on that bitch, yeah.
No. The only smart black person in this movie was the gay. He's the one that brought up the story, but black people, maybe boozy ones, I don't know, but black people don't behave the way they did in this movie. I thought that was kind of stupid. Yeah. And man, it was disappointing. I mean, I like a lot of aspects of it, but to me, the original is still reigning supreme.
Well, what about that callback to The Fly? I don't know if y'all caught that, but when he peeled his fingernail off, I was thinking, oh shit, that's right from The Fly. Jeff Goldblum. Only difference is like in The Fly, you actually squeezed the finger and the pus came out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that physical body horror and shit. They could have did more with that. They could have did more with that. They could have made it more like The Fly, but he just had this weird beehive thing on him. I did like when he peeled it back a little bit, but it was kind of gross. But they could have taken it further. I'm saying,
and nobody said nothing. His girl didn't say nothing about his hand. That white woman. It's kind of funny that art critic Helen looked like Helen a little bit. Didn't she look like Helen a little bit?
She did. Yeah.
He's in her house. She didn't say shit. His own mama didn't say nothing. His mama touching him like, oh baby. I'm like, motherfucker, you burnt. You look like beehive. You smell like burnt deadness. No one said nothing. I was like, nah. Even when we went to the library.
The mom did acknowledge it because the mom did acknowledge it because when she said she was just protecting him, he was like, protecting me from what? I want you to be normal. He's like, Mama, do I look normal? And when she touched him, she was like, oh, like what the fuck is this?
But she seen that when he walked through the door.
It was dark, man. He was dark, man.
This
motherfucker. If I dim the lights and Q come in here, man, I ain't gonna be able to know it's a beehive on him. I mean, no disc, I'm just saying, man.
This motherfucker's on the couch.
You can't see.
I had a conversation.
Oh shit!
Well, we see your ass all the time, right? Bright motherfucker.
Yellow.
Oh, I'm bright as shit. You can't miss me nowhere, man. I'll brighten up your day even at night. Oh man!
No, but in all honesty, I'm glad it went to #1. I'm glad a black female director is getting props. I want the film to succeed. I don't agree with everything. As a director, man, I have a hard time trashing film. They got to be really, really bad for me to do that. So,
not really
all glory. I'm glad it's doing well. I'm glad it's #1 at the box office. In the pandemic, it cost $25 million to make it. It almost made that back in 3 days. So, hey, I'm happy.
Yeah, and it made its money back next week. You know what I'm saying? It's still going to do good. I see it doing #2. I see it, Shang-Chi is going to blow everything out of water next week.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? I still see it doing it good, especially going into this fall season. People want to, and when they hit VOD, they're guaranteed a sequel. They're going to make it. They made their money back. And so that's good. You know what I'm saying? Taking this low budget movie and this concept of Candyman. I'm glad Candyman came back. Like I said, I didn't love the film. I didn't love it. You know what I'm saying? I wish they would have did things better, but overall I'm glad this black female director got the chance to, shine. I'm glad Jordan Peele brought because he's the executive producer on there. I'm glad he brought it back to the masses, get Candyman to a whole nother generation. But I still got the first one of being a little bit more scarier. The score is better. I think Tony Todd just owns that character from there. I'm not saying no one else can play him, but he was just menacing for that, you know what I'm saying, for that time. And then when the first Candyman came out, like no really other horror movies was doing it. Everything was like hack and slash, you know what I'm saying? We were going into the right now. Everything's hack and slash. There was really no story. So I'm glad they tried to bring the story back here in this 2021, man. And I can't wait to see what they do next.
And let's face it, it's hard to duplicate that because they had another Freddy. That shit didn't work out. Remember Jason 5? That shit didn't work out.
No.
Chucky's an electronic doll now. That shit didn't work out.
Yeah.
And another Candyman? No, man. Tony Todd's the man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, being that he appeared at the end of this one, I guess we're gonna see more of him probably in the second movie. You know, because with the de-aging technology, they can do it. And Tony Todd's not that old. I mean, he's older, but I think he can still pull the character off. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I missed the voice of Candyman because his voice was a character in the first movie.
It was.
I was happy to hear it this time. Like at the end, you know, when you said "tell everyone," I was like, "Shit!" Like I get chills every time I hear his voice. You know, yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a prequel of the original Candyman. See actually what happened, and then him come seeking revenge on all the people right there in that century, the 18th century. Ooh. Maybe it'd be something from Netflix or something. You know. That'd be dope.
That's a damn good idea. I like that.
Yeah, you know, Q, I actually thought about that when I left the theater. I said, you know what, could this have worked better as a series as opposed to a movie? You know what I'm saying? Maybe if they would did like an hour series or like a limited series where they can really dive deep into the lore, you know what I'm saying? Where we don't have to wait 2 years, you know what I'm saying? We could have got like 6 episodes or something. So
that'd be dope.
Would have been more effective, yeah. Because they did kind of show the origin in the second movie where they actually showed they showed them chasing him and cutting his head off and shit. Yeah. But we didn't see the direct aftermath of when he actually came back and started fucking niggas up. You know.
Yeah. That's what I would like to see too.
You know?
Yeah.
Or I should say, for fucking them the white folks that did him in. Like on some black exploitation type shit.
Yeah. Candyman.
Yeah. Can you imagine if this shit was made in the 70s? They cut his hand off, left him for dead. Now. He's back as one bad motherfucker. Candyman. Hit it, drive that hook right through your heart, baby. Can you dig it?
Don't you say that.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Candyman. Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
You know, somebody should do an anime of that shit, man. Yo, it's Debbie's exploitation of Candyman.
That'd be a good soundtrack. That'd be a damn good soundtrack. By the time you get to the 4th Candyman, shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. Shit. Hey, yo, have a Curtis Mayfield soundtrack. Shit.
Yeah,
y'all. But look, I ain't gonna take much more of y'all time, man. I appreciate y'all joining me. We're on an hour. I think we covered a lot. So, any last thoughts on the movie? Anything you want to get off your chest? What you want to say? Predictions or? You know, what you probably missed, another like or dislike, or Blacktastic calling me out for calling shit a masterpiece, you know.
But all I want is the director's cut because I think there's another film left on the editing floor that might help because my man in the 3rd act, his descent into madness went from here to here. I want to see more of that, how it led up to that, you know, that kind of thing. Okay. But, you know.
Okay.
Because remember in the trailer, Yaya was going crazy. He was going. I want to see. What kind of paintbrush you using?
Wait, but you know what? And kind of think about it. I did laugh when the girlfriend when she tried to say his name. And he busted me. He's like, nah, don't do that shit. And she's like, ooh, get the fuck away from me.
That was real black people shit there.
She's like, the blackest movie we got. Away from me.
Yeah.
But you know, but he has the physicality. Like, if he got mean, because I mean, I guess he's a nice guy in real life, so you know that resonates on screen. But the physicality, like, he can pull that off physically. He's a big dude. Yeah, and I believe if he got mean, he can get scary. But he seems like one of those nice guys where you know. He looks like he could fuck you up, but he won't. But nah, channeling your inner mad nigga, man, and just mean, man. You know. Oh shit. Well, Q, what's your final thoughts on it, man?
Yeah, my final thoughts. Yeah, I'm happy to get it got made for sure. You know what I'm saying? Seeing Candyman and you know what I'm saying all these black actors doing such wonderful work here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Coleman to Vanessa Williams again, and to Babe from WandaVision. Oh man, yeah, man, yeah, and they were lit so well, like Black Tastic said. They all look good. All their skin look good, and I'm really happy to see this. And of course, horror in the forefront here. You know what I'm saying? The Candyman's a great story, and I think Jordan Peele crafted a wonderful screenplay. I love how they tied in part one. And with this new Candyman here, like I said, I love that. I just had a problem with some of the horror, like you said, it might be a director's cut where we get more hook the flesh, maybe, you know what I'm saying? I would like to see that. You know, like I did have a problem with the weird CGBs flown them up in the air. It felt like Venom a little bit. Like, what is this? Carnage or Venom or something? Like they here. Like I'm not scared of this, but overall, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be here. Like I got it I think I still got it about a 3 out of 5. I think I'm gonna stick with that score. 3 out of 5, man. You know, I'll probably watch it again, probably, you know, when it hit VOD with the lady, something like that. Maybe the kids to kind of have them creeped out. But yeah, overall, you know, it was all right. I enjoyed it. You know, keep bringing it. Keep bringing it.
You know, I'm gonna soften my stance just a little bit. I think I'm gonna maintain my A grade because I did enjoy the shit out of it, even though you brothers made some valid points, and I can't argue with what you're saying. You know, I can't. You know. I just enjoyed it, man. I just really dug it. Now, as far as a masterpiece, I think I'll be able to say that, you know, in due time. You know what I'm saying? Being this just dropped, it's too early to say that. Because like with the first movie, I didn't like the first movie. So if Rashad G Reviews was around back in 92, I would have gave this shit like maybe like a C-, and people would have hit the dislike button on my shit over and over again. And I'd have been like, what? The movie wasn't all that good, you know? And then over time, you're like, damn, this shit was kind of tight, man. So yeah, I'm gonna save the masterpiece for later down the line, but for right now, I dug the shit out of it. You know, can't wait to see the sequels. And yeah, shout out to the sister. I had to look her name up, man. Gotta put some respect on her name.
I got her. Nia DaCosta. Oh yeah, Nia DaCosta.
Nia DaCosta. Yeah, Brooklyn, New York, by the way. Brooklyn, son.
Oh, okay. Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had to give a shout out to her. And yeah, that's it and that's all, man. Dug it. So I really loved it. Q thought it was all right. Black Tasky thought it was all right.
All right, it was all right.
You know, it was all right. Okay, cool.
Had his moments. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see what Mikey Myers going to do. Mikey Myers. I want to see what Mikey Myers
I'm ready. I'm ready.
When is that? Okay, when does that drop?
October 18th or something like that.
Okay. Okay, looking forward to that one. Yeah, for sure. All right, so as we close this out, man, real quick, just you know, shout out your channel, what you got coming up, you know, what you got on the horizon. And Q, we're gonna start with you.
Just got back, you know, from vacation. So I'm figuring out exactly what definitely gonna be the Marvel Shang-Chi review coming up when I get to see that next week. Other than that, working on skits, man. I think I'm changing this channel back up to more skits and stuff and filmmaking because I like doing that too. But you know, I like talking about films too. But you know, it's been a while since a good skit, so I'm gonna cook one of those up. You know what I'm saying? And if you guys haven't checked out my channel, check out Q Reviews with that S. And we're gonna get it popping. We get it popping real here coming soon. Fall's coming up. October's coming up. Horror. My favorite season. Heck
yeah, man. Look, a couple of skits come to mind as soon as you said that, man. I thought about that Aladdin skit that you did. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah,
that Aladdin skit. Yo, you did another skit too where it was about Superman. And you were actually chomping on fucking CDs. I said, this is crazy, man.
that Aladdin skit was real because I jumped off on the east side of Detroit just with the camera, like, babe, just film me. You know what I'm saying? These niggas just playing basketball right here. I could get shot or anything. They don't know me. I just jump out in an Aladdin costume, start dancing. God. That whole shit was shot on the east side. Yeah, I was just jumping out in the hood. Like,
that's wild.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. I said, this motherfucker crazy, man.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's what I have fun the most, being crazy.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's funny, man. So okay, Black Task, what you got coming up? Well, you got Sarah, of course, you talked about, but
yes,
you know, for those that's new, bring it up again. Yeah,
Sarah drops October 28th, and later on this evening or tomorrow, I'm gonna send a copy over to you, Q. And
I will do it.
I'm gonna break the news here for the first time. Me and Q been talking for a while about doing a project together. So once Sarah drops, and it does this thing. Years ago, I wrote a short story called "What Have I Done?" about the werewolf, I've never seen a good black werewolf story. So I think me and Q are going to work together on that. I said Q. I think me and Q are going to work together on that because I'm going to write it. And he's done makeup in the past.
Okay.
So he said, man, I can come up with a dope. And I got permission in Compton to film out there. So we're thinking loosely a werewolf in Compton. We'll be working on now. And
I came up with that name, by the way, man. I came up with that name.
Yeah.
Oh, werewolf in Compton, dope.
Yes. And so we might make it comical somewhat because our personalities kind of match that way, but we're gonna scare you. But this one here is gonna be like bloody. And just imagine some Mexicans getting killed by a black werewolf, you know, cars, you know, hydraulics. You got street lights, you got the wet floor with the neon lights. I think LA be a good backdrop to see a cool black werewolf. And in this movie, he's gonna change one time, you know, and it's gonna go batshit crazy. So it might be a short film, but it's gonna take a lot to do with it. But I already got permission to shoot in Compton already from the home. And Q got to come together with, you know, makeup and hair and all that stuff. We got to hire some real actors this time and really get it done. So that's on the horizon, maybe a year from now to start working on it. So it's going to take some time, but that's my next project.
Dope.
I'm excited about that one, man. I'm excited about that. That sounds dope.
Well, if it works out, man, if we can all link up and make it to LA, I got enough family in LA. We got free room and board. So maybe you, Anthony Perez, can come down there and get y'all in the film.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm with that.
So,
you know, put this fat yellow face on Hollywood.
Oh yeah. We're gonna play that tequila dude. What's his name?
Shit, look, I got a bottle in the freezer right now waiting for you to do this stream, man. Play
Yeah, he gonna be in there. Him and Young Perez gonna be there for sure. It's gonna we gotta make it go down. Yeah.
That sounds dope. I'm getting like Werewolf in London vibes, man. But this time
that's Compton. What I'm feeling. But in Compton,
that's gonna be dope.
But just imagine that you got a black dude who's you know, he's not bougie, but he's the only black guy in his office. Hey man, you wanna go camping this weekend? He goes camping with his coworkers, motherfucker get bit by a wolf, and he's slowly changing into a werewolf. Like I was telling Q when I pitched this to him, when he changes, it's a full moon for one night, and that one night, it's the whole third act. There's no changing back and forth. He's a werewolf for the whole third act. And imagine he's in the car. He changed for the first time in the car, and the car's doing all this weird stuff, and doors are popping open and stuff like that. Something we never seen before. And plus, it'll help our budget. And I told also, let's shoot this movie from the wolf's standpoint, like Jaws. So you have like the predator camera.
Okay.
From the wolf's point of view, so that way we can save money.
Right.
Go old school with Jaws/Predator, and you see the werewolf in his splendor, or it might be a female werewolf. We haven't decided yet.
Okay.
But definitely black.
Nice. I'm excited. Yo, I haven't seen a good werewolf movie since what, the 80s?
Thank you. Since American.
I love American. It's my favorite.
You have the Howling, American, Silver Bullet. As cheesy as the monster looked at the end, Silver Bullet was tight.
That's about it, man.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been a good werewolf movie in years.
Oh, and don't forget Thriller. Michael Jackson probably was the best werewolf ever. Shit.
Oh yeah, Thriller. Yeah.
Hitting trees with one arm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they did try to do like a sequel to Werewolf in London called Werewolf in Paris.
That was trash.
That was so awful. Oh,
that was a bad movie. Yeah. I don't like trash movies either. That one was bad.
Yeah, no doubt.
So definitely, everybody. Yeah, definitely, everybody listening. Now, so me and Q might get a GoFundMe going here within the next 6 months to help sponsor this movie and get some money for it.
Okay.
But if y'all help us out, we're gonna bring something to the table because I might hand over camera duties to him solely and not just direct.
Right.
And that way I can. I mean, I think the two of us coming together is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Nice.
No, I'm excited for it, man. I can't wait to see that, man. I can't wait to see it. I got chills even thinking about it. Shit. But brothers, I appreciate y'all joining me on the stream. Thank you for showing the channel love.
Anytime.
You know, I would love to return the favor, man. And come on y'all channel, man. Show y'all some love as well.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And so Halloween Kills, man. We could possibly make this happen again because
let's do that.
yeah, I'm pretty sure Halloween Kills is gonna be straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So with that being said, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Those of you that showed up, and hope y'all enjoyed it. And that's it, and that's all. So I'm out.
Peace.
Kick rocks. Get out my face.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Peace.